Hi, this is Linda Vitti from Linda Vitti's Life Coaching and Counseling, and I want to talk to you today about a subject that's near and dear to my heart, and that is eating disorders. Now, eating disorders, number one, are a form of control. They are a way to cope with feeling like you have no control over your life, over your circumstances, over what happens to you. And so food is a primary way that we have absolute control over our bodies. If you think about it, eating, drinking, those are things that only we control what goes into our body. Even a child may not be able to choose what foods they eat, but they can control whether they eat or not. And that's something a parent can't do anything about unless the child's hospitalized, which happens with anorexia, which we'll talk about. So, eating disorders are a way to cope with trauma. They are a way to gain control back. Here's the kicker. You really never do get control with eating disorders because eating disorders take control of your life. They just do. So the 4 different types of eating disorders are overeating, bulimia, anorexia, and bulimarexia. Overeating, we all know. I like to call it emotional eating because anybody who's overeating is emotionally eating. Bulimia is binging and purging. That is, you're eating a lot at once and then you're throwing it up. Anorexia is starving yourself to the point of where your brain actually changes because it stops functioning properly when you get to a certain weight level. And bulimarexia is a combination of both bulimia and anorexia at different times. So, how do we start dealing with eating disorders? This is a really, really tough one. But the first thing I want to encourage you to do is find a therapist who specializes in trauma and specializes in eating disorders. I do both, so please use me as a resource if you need to. Okay? So the first thing we have to become aware of if we are overeating or bulimic is, why are we emotionally eating? Every time you put a piece of food in your mouth, I want you to remember this question. Why am I eating this? Am I eating this because it tastes good and I want to soothe myself? Am I eating it because I feel lousy right now and it's going to make me feel better? Am I eating it because of something other than nourishing my body? If I am, then I'm emotionally eating. So, that's the first step. Second step, if you're bulimic and you can't stop throwing up, you need help. You probably won't be able to do this on your own. I know you think you can, but let me tell you, I struggled for 15 years trying to get over bulimia. Small meals. Distract yourself after you finish eating. You're going to think about wanting to throw up. You're going to want to eat more so you can throw up. Do not. Go for a walk. Get yourself distracted. And try not to think about weight. It's like asking me to not think about feelings. You can't do it easily. Okay? So, but these are just tiny little tips and tricks I'm going to give you because I know there's stubborn people out there who are going to want to try and find a way to do this on their own, and they're going to be looking up all different ways to do it. There's not a lot, but for those 2 things, those are the 2 main things you can do to try. Okay? Anorexia If you're under a certain weight, and parents, if you're watching this, if you're under a certain weight, your brain is not functioning the same way. Even if you're watching this video, you're not believing me right now. But trust me, as someone who's lived through it, felt it, experienced it, there is a certain weight limit. And I've gone there up and back from that weight limit enough times to know that my brain stops functioning a certain way. And the way I look at myself changes. I can look in the mirror at 100 pounds at 5'6" and say, there's still fat on my stomach. It's called body dysmorphia. And if you've had anorexia, you know what body dysmorphia is. You don't see yourself as you are. A trick with this is taking a picture of yourself and looking at the picture. Sometimes when we do that, we can have a shift in our brain and we can actually see it from an outside view. Not always, but sometimes. So that's about the only thing I can give you with that, because anorexia really is a dangerous, dangerous thing. It's going to destroy it will destroy your bones. Bulimia destroys your teeth. I have both. I have osteoporosis prematurely. I have teeth loss prematurely. I have rotted, root canals, the whole 9 yards, so much damage done to my body and my teeth and my esophagus because of these disorders. So guys, please take this seriously. Bulimarexia, you're going to switch between wanting to throw up and wanting to starve. You've got to start eating small meals, as many times a day as you can, up to 6 times a day. But I'm telling you guys, I'm telling you this straight up as someone who's lived through it and gotten over it, getting a therapist and getting real help is the best way to go about getting over an eating disorder. You're going to have to get to that trauma that started the eating disorder. You can band-aid this stuff till you're blue in the face, but until I got to the root of my eating disorder, which was childhood sexual abuse, I could not get over it. And once my repressed memories came back, and once I got to that trauma, I was able to implement some of these strategies that I just talked about earlier and actually put them into place where I could get over my eating disorder. But when I tried to do them before I got to the root of that trauma, it was like trying to, blow dust in the wind. It just goes everywhere. It doesn't work, and it's not sustaining. It just doesn't work without getting to the root of the trauma. So guys, please get a trauma-informed eating disorder specialist who knows how to deal with this, who knows what to do with it. Okay? And understand you're going to have hard work in front of you, but the freedom of getting out of an eating disorder and the damage you will save your body by getting over the eating disorder is so worth it. So please, if you hear anything I'm saying, reach out to me. Please, even if it's not to hire me as a therapist, if it's just to get support, if it's just to get references, if it's just to get some more input or just to get advice, please message me on Messenger. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Leave a message below. Find me on Facebook and Instagram. Find me on TikTok. But find me, guys, and find somebody who specializes in eating disorders and get the help you need. Get to the root of that trauma and get over what you're killing yourself with. Okay? I am Linda Beatty from Linda Beatty's Life Coaching and Counseling with a heartfelt, really plea for you to deal with this sooner rather than later. God bless, guys.